Welcome, welcome. I am here to chat again today about natural healing with you. Woo, taking a deep breath. Have y'all been running around today? I don't know what made me think that if I did this on Saturday, that it would be a more chill day for me. We all know as entrepreneurs that every day is full of all of this stuff, right? So I got my Valor on. Speaking of natural healing methods, we're going to dive in a little bit into this in a second, but let me just douse myself here and then we will jump in. Big deep breath, guys. Okay. We are going to talk about science today. And I preface that only so that you will also take a deep breath and be with me here and know that this will all be simple and easy for you. All right. So today we're going to talk about some real talk about natural healing and this question of the placebo effect. The question of hey Amanda, thank you for joining me. The question of does belief affect our healing process? So a couple of questions I posed to you guys before this was, have you ever thought like, does crystal healing really work? Or is it just like, because you believe it? Or you probably had friends say, yeah, those essential oils only work for you because you think that they're going to work for you, right? So let's do real talk about it. If you don't know me yet, I'll just introduce myself super quickly. I am Erin Holland. I am the owner and founder of ivy+light online wellness community. I am also a crystal healer, jewelry designer, life coach, and wellness educator. And the purpose of my wellness community, ivy+light, is to help you go just from that natural living, right? Trying to get into that a little bit to really living a life of your dreams, fully using the potential of our natural world for healing and for manifesting a life that you love. The process that I teach you within my community, so important, is the understanding of knowledge being power. That throughout the process, you're gaining knowledge and wisdom about how these healing methods work, how your own body works, how your mind works, so that increases your power to grow a life you love, right? That sounds good, doesn't it? So today, we're going to do some unpacking of this question of the placebo effect. And I think before we do that, we should first answer the question, what is the placebo effect, right? So I went to the internet for a trusty definition, which is the placebo effect is a beneficial effect produced by a placebo drug or treatment, which cannot be attributed to the properties of the placebo itself and must therefore be due to the patient's belief in that treatment. So when you're given a treatment that in and of itself has no proven benefit, right, and yet it worked, you healed, therefore it must be due to the patient's belief. There's no other explanation for it except that you believed it would work, and so it did. And I'm curious if you are on board with that definition. Like you've heard that before, right? And it's always kind of talked about as a bad thing. But basically, your body, what they're saying is your body healed itself without the help of medication. That doesn't sound bad to me. It gets a bad rap, but that doesn't really sound bad, that your body healed itself without the help of medication, right? So is it really so surprising that your body was able to heal itself? Let's think about it. Your body has a natural healing process. Your body was built to heal anytime it gets sick, to heal with zero input from you doing nothing, you being totally neutral. Your body is always trying to achieve homeostasis. And that big word homeostasis just means balance, returning to the norm. If you get sick, your body is always trying to bring you back into balance, right? If you have a month where you eat so healthily and you get way more fit and then you do nothing, guess what? Your body brings you back into balance and into your state of norm. That is your body's job. So if your body can heal, then it will heal. But our question today is, does your belief or does your disbelief have anything to do with that healing process? Are you also affecting the process, right? So let's say you don't believe that you can heal. You're like, this medication is not going to work. this crystal is not going to work. This oil is not going to work. This exercise regimen is not going to work. This diet is not going to work. If you don't believe you can heal, how does that affect your healing process? What's happening here? Okay. Well, if we look at quantum physics, which if you follow me on YouTube, if you're in my community, you know I love to talk quantum physics. If we look at that, it teaches us that how we observe affects our reality. Our observation affects our reality. And so I want to just read to you. This is a book. If you're watching this and you're in Martha's group, this book, it is an incredible explanation, easy explanation of the quantum physics and healing. All right. So guys, tell me if while I fix my technical malfunction, go ahead and tell me if you've ever read this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm going to read to you guys a bit from this book because he is certified to be teaching you about quantum physics and because it's just so clear. All right. So if you see this picture here, the classic atom, the atom that you are used to having drawn in class, right? Hey, Lynette, Amanda, you've started reading it. Oh, it's so good. I'm on my second time. All right. This is what you used to think that an atom looked like in science class. Guess what? This is actually what it looks like. Looks pretty different, right? So I'm going to read to you guys a passage that just makes it super, super clear what we're going to talk about for the rest of this short workshop. The creation of reality. Energy responds to mindful attention. Consider again that old school toothpick and styrofoam ball model of how atoms were constructed. That's what I just showed you, right? Back then, weren't we led to believe that electrons orbited about the nucleus like planets around the sun? If so, we could pinpoint their location, couldn't we? The answer is yes, in a manner of speaking, but the reason is not at all what we used to think. What quantum physicists discovered was that the person observing or measuring the tiny particles that make up atoms affects the behavior of energy and matter. Quantum experiments demonstrated that electrons exist simultaneously in an infinite array of possibilities or probabilities in an invisible field of energy. I'm going to read that one again. Quantum experiments demonstrated that electrons exist simultaneously in an infinite array of possibilities or probabilities in an invisible field of energy. But only when an observer focuses attention on any location of any one electron does that electron appear. In other words, a particle cannot manifest in reality, that is, ordinary space-time as we know it, until we observe it. All right, so when the quantum physicist looked for the electron, bam, there it was. But then if they looked in a different place, bam, there it was. It's called the observer effect. So quantum physicists call this the collapse of the wave function or the observer effect. We know that the moment the observer looks for an electron, there is a specific point in time and space where all probabilities of the electron collapse into a physical event. Within this discovery, mind and matter can no longer be considered separate. They are intrinsically related because subjective mind produces measurable changes on the objective physical world. So the mind of the observer, the focus of the observer changed the reality of where the matter showed up, okay? And I wanted just to read that to you guys because it's clear and concise and sets us up for the rest of this. So another good book, if you've already got this book and want to grab another one, I love Deepak Chopra, and he has a book that is called Reinventing the Body and Resurrecting the Soul. And I can put links for those two in the comments for you guys later. Those are both great, and they talk a lot about quantum physics and healing. So this collapse of the wave is basically explaining to us that the anticipation of healing or not healing affects the outcome. If your focus is on that this medicine will make me better, then you are looking for that result and you are affecting the result occurring in space and time. I know that this sounds weird. I know that this sounds woo-woo, but it is quantum physics. And one thing I like to say is that magic, once we understand it, is technology, right? These things that seem so magical about natural healing, once we understand them, are just science. And so if you deep dive into quantum physics like I do, it just becomes more and more and more clear how simple all of this stuff is, how this works. So this brings us a big question. If our observation affects the outcome, could we then create our own miraculous healing? Like, quantum physics suggests that this is possible. If we have such focus on healing, could we create that healing without anything else? The placebo effect, right? But let's not even go that far today. Quantum physics suggests that's possible, but we don't have to go that far in order to have this conversation. Let's say this is just one component. Let's say that your mindset, your focus, your belief or disbelief does affect your ability to heal. All right? The other big point is that there are other factors at play in our reality. The placebo effect, in terms of natural healing and in terms of quantum physics, is saying not this bad rap that it's given, but this good thing that you can think and positively affect your health. Your thoughts can positively or negatively affect your health, right? All right. But the other big point is that there are other factors at play in reality. We're not the only thing in our space and time. We live in an environment. We live with people. We live with other things. We know, for example, that medicine can affect our ability to heal, right? We know that it doesn't just have to be, oh, I really, really want to heal, and then we heal. We can take medicine. We can take Advil for a headache, right? For example. But we also trust those of us who use essential oils, crystals, meditation, yoga, all of these different functional medicines, right? We trust that natural healing also has an effect. But let's go beyond that trust, okay? Trust is amazing, but let's go beyond that today to facts. This is really what I wanted to bring you guys. This is what I'm so passionate about. The fact that there are facts. When someone comes to you and they talk to you about the placebo effect, they're throwing shade at your trust in natural healing. So I want to arm you with knowledge. I want to allow you to have that conversation with them. So, all right. How do the facts of natural healing work? How does crystal healing work? How do essential oils work? They are both forms of vibrational healing. Now, we're going to talk more specifically about crystals and oils in my upcoming course. I know you guys have heard I'm doing a crystals and oils course. We dive deep into the specifics of crystal healing, deep into the specific of oils and how they combine together for exponential benefits, right? But for today, let's call them vibrational healing, which is the subcategory, right? They're under that big category of vibrational healing. This occurs, vibrational healing works because of something called an energy field. Shout out in the comments if you've heard of EMF. I think probably if you've heard of 5G, you've probably heard of EMFs. EMFs also get a bad rap, but all that means is electromagnetic field. It's an energy field, an electromagnetic field that exists around all objects with an electric charge, okay? Anything that has an electrical charge, the electricity, the energy is flowing from the positive pole to the negative pole constantly. So I actually, in my Crystal 101 course, and I'll also put it in this Crystals and Oils course, I actually have a diagram for you, but I'll try to show you here. Basically, an electromagnetic field looks like a giant donut that is surrounding you, okay, or any object with an electrical charge. This energy is consistently flowing from one positive to negative pole, from one pole to the other, right? So not just humans have this electromagnetic field. We're electrically charged, but guess what? So are potatoes, so are dogs, so are crystals, so are essential oils, right? And whenever two electromagnetic fields cross each other, come into contact, okay, as two people might, or as I might with this crystal, right? As any two objects with electromagnetic fields, when they come into contact with each other, those fields are touching or crossing. They affect each other. They have to. Those fields, that energy is flowing in a wave pattern, in a vibration like this. And so when two hit each other, those two waves collide and they affect each other. So this is how humans, when they interact with each other, you can say, I got a bad vibe, right? Or this person was so happy, I couldn't help but be happy. You're being affected by the vibration of their electromagnetic field. It's making you happy, or it's making you angry, or it's making you feel calm, right? The same is true of everything, all other things in nature, cell phones, crystals, oils. So how do they affect each other? All right. Each electromagnetic field has a specific vibration or frequency. Has a certain speed at which it is vibrating and a certain amplitude at which it is vibrating. When these two frequencies come into contact with each other, they have to get into tune, because there's a law of entrainment which says that two waves, if they're like this, they end up having to get into tune so that no energy will be lost. Our universe is very, very efficient. If them going like this and battling each other does not work, they have to get into alignment. You can see this with waves in the ocean, right? Or when waves ripple, they affect each other. They have to create this other wave, this wave that is in balance, so that they are not constantly fighting. And how do they get into tune? How do they align? The one that has the stronger and more stable frequency is the one that wins. All right. So for a musical example, if you bow an A on a violin, and another violinist bows an A on a violin, okay, it doesn't really matter which is in tune. The one that is more stable and stronger, more volume and more clear, the other one has to get into tune. There's no like mental process here. It just happens. That vibration adjusts. So, for example, in the case of crystals have a very, very, very pure vibration. Humans are made up of a lot of different things, all of which have different vibrations. All of our minerals, water, which is very malleable. And so a crystal has a much more pure vibration than we do. And so it affects us through its purity and the strength of its structure. Again, something we will dive into in the crystals and oils course. But we are affected by the way that these powerful healers, these crystals, these essential oils, music, right? The way that those vibrations affect us is so powerful. But for today's conversation, that's for the course, but for today's conversation, I don't want us to discount the power of your vibration, the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful vibrations, right? The more angry you are, the more sad, the more happy, the stronger that vibration is. And your belief or a disbelief, okay? Any belief, it's always a belief. It's just a positive or a negative belief, right? That belief is a very consistent thought pattern that has happened a lot for you. So the strength of it and the consistency of it add to its power. So if you have a really, really, really strong belief that you can heal, that's a stronger vibration, creates a stronger EMF, okay? Than if you're like, maybe it'll work. It just is, this is leaving out positives and negatives. It just is a stronger or a not as strong vibration, right? Just in terms of the physics of it. So we can't discount the power of those thoughts. If you strongly believe you cannot heal, it will be harder for anything with a positive vibration inside you or outside of you to affect your vibration, which is so strongly in that place. So is this starting to become clear? The placebo effect, the fact that it's saying you healed because you had a belief, which was a vibration, right, that was aligned with healing. So how about anything that comes into your life that also has that healing vibration is meshing with your already active vibration of healing, vibration of, yes, I am going to heal, right? That's the EMF you have. If you are, nope, not going to work. Nope. Or your friend, nope, not going to work. Thieves, nope, not going to work. Rose quartz, nope, not going to work. then the stronger they believe that, the stronger that vibration is. And it has to, in terms of physics, has to interact with the thing that you're trying to use to heal. All right. So if the natural healing tools are powerful, but our mind is powerful too, then is there a way to shift our thoughts more towards belief or to soften the disbelief? Can we actually do some internal work to help ourselves believe that we can heal, and therefore that will actually increase our ability to heal? So I'm curious if you guys know or have some of your own particular ways. If you wanted to soften your disbelief in something, if you wanted to increase your belief in something, what are the methods that you would use? Go ahead and type that in the comments for me. I'm going to give you a couple seconds not to distract your train of thought. All right, looks like we're all in agreement in the comments, which is awesome. So for me personally, a super powerful, simple, anyone can do it, totally free way to soften disbelief or to increase belief is meditation. The power of meditation is that it helps you to relax, disconnect with the external factors, the external environment, which may be reinforcing that disbelief, right? To disassociate from that, to just be calm, internal in this moment, in the now, instead of the future or the past, and relax you so that your vibration is much easier to shift. Your vibration is calmer, is less staunch, so that you can shift, so that you can assimilate these positive vibrations that you are using. If you're using music, listening to someone do a guided meditation, listening to your own thoughts, right? Enjoying silence, doing a walking meditation. My favorite is using crystals and oils at the same time. So I have both of those positive benefits, and I am in a neutral state. And so I'm not resisting the effects. If I'm in a bad mood and I meditate, that allows me to release the bad mood so that the crystals and oils can have more of an effect, right? So if you were to go to a massage therapist or a chiropractor, for example, what do they tell you? Relax. Relax, right? I got a B in front of me. Relax. If you go to the chiropractor, they say, relax so that we can adjust you. The more tight you are, the harder it is to adjust. Your energy in terms of physical is big there for your muscles, but also your thought energy, your emotion energy are so big too. So relaxing that in order to allow the healing process makes a huge difference. So truly, 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 you are working with or against the healing process. So we call it a placebo effect, right? But it is just the power of your mind interacting with your environment, interacting with healing methods, interacting with medicine, whatever you use, absolutely 100%. There is an effect that your belief or disbelief is having because your thoughts are vibrations. Your vibrations affect your electromagnetic field. Your electromagnetic field interacts with everything around you, right? So that is why the reason I brought you guys, I don't know. To me, when this title came to me, and I thought it's a little bit random to talk about the placebo effect. But the reason I just had to do this workshop was because I was thinking to myself about the 7 modules that are in the Crystals and Oils course. And I really wanted meditating with crystals and oils to be in there. And I kind of went back and forth with myself. Is it necessary? Like, it's what I do, but does it really have to be in a crystals and oils course? Like, is it that important? Or am I just like adding more work for myself, right? And that was when this came to mind. Absolutely. It's so important because we need to be aware of how our thoughts, how our own vibration is affecting the scenario. And the more we can soften that, the more that we can allow ourselves the energetic ability to shift in that positive direction, the more powerfully we'll be affected by all of those healing methods that we're using. So if you want to learn more about all of this stuff, quantum physics, natural healing, crystals and oils, I would love for you guys to join us for the Crystals and Oils course. It is launching October 26th. It will be a 7-day intensive. Basically, we're going to have a module drop every day for 7 days. Don't worry, that sounds like a lot, and it is a ton of information, but it's going to be available to you guys for lifetime access. So I'm doing much like Martha does, where I don't want to give you everything because then you'll just, pick and choose what you want to watch. I'm going to give you a module at a time so that you're going through it in the order that I think is the best to understand everything. And then you can go back to it as many, 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 many times as you want. So just to give you guys the sneak peek, the 7 modules include introduction to crystals, introduction to essential oils, not the fluffy stuff you've heard before, the physics behind it, the science behind it. All right. And then creating blends and elixirs, which is how the different ways that you would combine crystals with essential oils. Also including some vitality oil stuff for you young living peeps. And then power trios, which is my very, very, very personal favorite thing to do, which is crystals and oils and affirmations. How I do that, a whole bunch of different combinations and how you can create your own combinations with a lot of confidence. Chakra healing with crystals and oils. In the past 2 workshops I did for you guys, we talked a lot about the chakras, and we're going to dive even deeper into that and go more into the details of which crystals and which oils and give you a lot more options to play with. Meditation, obviously, as we talked about with crystals and essential oils, including a guided group meditation so that you can experience that one-on-one with me and how I actually do that as the whole group. And then emotional balance with crystals and essential oils. This is so important. This is a thing I learned when I was dealing with hypothyroidism. My personal healing journey was being so sick. I was pulling myself up my stairs at the end of the night, crying every morning when I had to get up and go to work. I was so sick. And crystals and oils are 2 of the things that I discovered that made a giant difference in my ability to heal. And it was so big because I was realizing through this learning how my emotions and my physical health were affecting each other. The fact that I was so stressed was negatively affecting my health. And the fact that when I released that stress, when I learned how to deal with stress better, when I learned how to let go of things, that was allowing me to heal more. So emotional balance with crystals and oils is going to be our 7th module. That will include a guided AFT session. So some of you guys know about AFT, which is aroma freedom technique, where you're actually using essential oils in releasing. I do myself a crystal releasing meditation. And so I am bringing in Crystal Gilbert, who is certified AFT teacher and practitioner, and she's going to do that. And then I'm going to show you how I use crystals so you can combine those together for even more benefit for yourself, your team, your clients. The bonus is that you also get free access for a month to my manifesting group. You get to see what that is all about. We use all of these healing methods to go beyond healing to actually manifesting a life that you love. And you're also going to get at the end of this, when you've completed all of the modules, your certificate of completion, which is something that you can use to show for yourself, right? Confidence in yourself, that you know how to use these, but also confidence for your team, confidence for people that you want to work with, that they know that you have taken the time to do the research to know how to use these incredibly powerful natural healing tools with efficacy, right? So they're very, very effective, but also safely for them. So we're going to go into the safety pieces of this very intensely too, so that you know that for all of your clients. So guys, I'm going to dive into the comments and just see if I missed anything. Just looks like it's making sense and y'all agree, which is fantastic. I will link the books, Amanda. Yes, absolutely, for you guys. There is, I have 2 Deepak Chopra books that I love, love, love. And the one that I just mentioned, I've read like 2 or 3 times. The other one I've read like 7 times. And this new book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I read the entire thing, did the meditations at the end, and now I'm starting at the beginning again. That's kind of my process so that I can learn and then I can begin to incorporate this into my teaching. I was so excited to find this book because I got into wellness teaching because I couldn't find the information I wanted on quantum physics and vibrational healing. And I was so frustrated that it didn't exist, that people weren't pairing those 2 things together. So when I discovered this book, and it's been around for a little while, but when I was introduced to it, I was so glad to see how beautifully and how succinctly he describes this. So definitely recommend this. I'm going to give you guys a link also for you to join the crystals and oils course, and I'm going to give you a coupon code. So if this week, if you go ahead and sign up, again, the course launches October 26th, but if you sign up this week, then I'm going to give you a code to use, which is CO Early Bird, and that will get you $50 off the course. So don't wait. Don't pay the full price. Go ahead and get that discount. And I will pop in the comments here the link for you. This is for you guys who were here live and for anyone who watches it back too. So Lynette says, it's great to have a flame of revelation to the science side of the EMF, lights up my mind. You're so welcome. In my Intro to Crystal Healing course, which is actually going to be the first module that you'll get as part of the crystals and oils course, I go into that even more in depth, the EMF part of this, but that is the aura, right? When we talk about the aura in these natural healing, traditional healing terms, it is your electromagnetic field. Again, it was woo-woo and now it's science once you understand what it is. So that doesn't make it less amazing. I never want anyone to think that because I explain things in terms of physics that I think that it's less amazing. It is incredible the way our universe works, but it's not unknowable. We can understand it, and that knowledge, that understanding is powerful. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you for joining me. I know this was a weird title, and I'm glad that you were here to get all the juice out of it. And leave any questions that you have in the comments for me down below if I need to re-explain anything to you. If there's a specific question you want me to go into more depth on, feel free to leave that too, because I have a giant library of information that I have put onto the internet through blog posts and YouTube videos. And I can find you a blog or a YouTube video or both, probably to give you some more information now, immediate gratification rather than having to wait till October 26th to get started learning this. All right, guys, love you very much. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.